Hello everybody, it's Lucy Wolf here, sleep consultant and author of the Baby Sleep Solution. I hope that you're really well today. I just wanted to speak today about what I might describe as being sleepability, because I think that sleepability plays a huge role in your child's ability to go into a deep sleep and stay asleep for as long as they can without needing lots of or more parental support. The best thing I can do is to describe your child's sleepability on a spectrum, and for you to think that there is going to be a range on your child's ability. So the range is going to be from low to high in terms of their ability to put themselves to sleep at bedtime specifically as a starting point. And it's the range of this ability sort of determines whether they're then able to get through their natural sleep phases on their own. Okay, so if it's a thing, your child is over than 6 months plus, and if it's a thing that you're very much involved in how they achieve their sleep, then, and whilst there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, however, the way that sleep itself is designed, it may then stop them from cycling through sleep, their natural sleep phases in the overnight period. So it's a bit like this. A lot of children will go to sleep at bedtime, and they may well go into a deep sleep, maybe for the first 2 to 4 hours where you don't tend to hear from them. And then after that section of time, your baby's brain is going to start to cycle through sleep. And when it does this, it has a partial arousal. And I like to think of this partial arousal a little bit like a check-in system. So basically your baby goes to sleep, and then as they cycle through sleep, the brain comes up to the surface and it checks to see if everything is okay, if it's the same as it was when I first went to sleep, and if things have changed, if you're no longer there, if you're no longer patting them, or if you're no longer feeding them, the boob has come out of the mouth, the bottle has, the dummy has fallen out, you're no longer holding their hand. When this happens, that partial arousal that could be becomes a complete arousal, and your baby will call for you and look for you to help them back into the next phase of sleep. And then this tends to continue as the night unfolds, so that then you might report your baby wakes again after an hour, 2 hours, 50 minutes, and each time needs your assistance to support their current ability to return to sleep. And then we might get to about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and children want to do one of two things. They either want to get up and start the day, or they go into another deep section of sleep for an hour or 2 or even 3 until morning time proper. Now, if that sounds a little bit familiar, it should, because it's the biology of your child's sleep, and you'll have heard it lots of times that children wake up. It's a biological fact. And I guess the key thing with children's sleep is that in order for them to wake less, a lot of the time they need a higher sleep ability. So that might mean that their orientation at bedtime, be a breast orientated, bottle orientated, parent orientated, hand holding oriented, whatever the orientation is, that generally we have to maybe improve and move the needle of ability higher up the scale in order to allow that partial arousal to start to sync their natural sleep phases together. And then when we are observing that, so when the sleep ability improves, then there are more chances, not all of the time, but more chance of your baby to be able to do that, so that they wake less and they need less. And maybe they only wake for a feed, or they only wake for brief reassurance, but they don't wake on every sleep phase. Now, it's hard to help your baby establish a higher level of sleepability, and on its own, addressing that item on its own won't either necessarily give you the complete yield of what you're looking for in terms of improving your sleep. But I guess it's a case of understanding that while there's absolutely nothing wrong with helping your child get to sleep, unfortunately the way that sleep is designed, it's possible that then becomes a little bit of a barrier to them being able then to do some of the hard work for themselves. So when their child is over 6 months, tend to make that transition by using the stay and support approach that you'll read about in my book, The Baby Sleep Solution. And when they're under 6 months, we absolutely try to see, can we initiate that scale, and we use the percentage of wakefulness approach. And again, both of those approaches are to help improve, enhance, and grow your child's sleep ability, which then, as I say, allows them to start to cycle through sleep without as much input from you. And that can be considered the start of moving towards more consolidated and less interrupted sleep for your little family. So I just thought I would just explain that to you here today. And of course, there's loads of information in the IGTV. So if you've got lots of questions about different topics, you'll just scroll through them and they're all labeled so that you can hook out the topics that are relevant to your little family unit. And of course, all of the information is backed up in my book, The Baby Sleep Solution, and you can purchase that. The link is in the bio, or it's available in all good bookstores and online as well. So I hope that's helpful, and I look forward to seeing you here again soon.